It was a long time since the last video, and I apologize in advance. As you may know, I am very ill at the moment. I'm still not recovered, but I try to do my best to give you more content. So first, I want to finish the 2013 edition of the Best Dominion cards. It's 2014 already, and sorry about that. But at least I want to finish it, and the next series will start soon. But let's have a look at part 20, potion cost cards. Rank number 10, Transmute. Transmute is still clearly the worst potion cost card in this list with 46 votes in last place, but it's a little bit higher placed and the disagreement is way higher with 1 vote on number 6 and 1 vote on rank 8. But the deviation is still the lowest in this list, so no doubt about its placement. But why is that card so bad? You need treasures early in the game. For Transmute, you need to open Potion. Then you buy a Transmute in like turn 3 or 4 at best and have your Transmute somewhere between turn 5 and 8. That is really slow. And what's the benefit? Well, you can trash estates to get gold. Okay, that's really nice, but only for the 3 starting estates, and you have to draw them together. If you trash copper, you get another Transmute. Why does anyone want that unless you go for Vineyards? And trash actions to get duchies could only be nice in the endgame, but are rarely a big difference. You can also trash a curse, but you won't get anything for that. For pure treasure, it's too slow. For a treasure benefit card, it's too weak. When do you really want to buy one? Yes, it's better with dual type cards like Great Hall for duchy and gold. And you can heavily trash for gold into transmute into duchy and try to free pile, but that's just too slow in the most cases. I think the only reason when you want to buy it if you want that potion anyway, and you desperately need a treasure anyway, like on familiar boards. Rank number 9, Philosopher's Stone. 6 of the remaining 8 last places got Philosopher's Stone. It's where it was, and its agreement is much higher as it's the card with the second lowest deviation in this list because it got no vote in the upper half. With Philosopher's Stone on the board, and the only potion cost card, it's often ignorable. And it anti-synergizes with all other potion cards except for Familiar. Because with University you get a lot of cards, but mostly to build an engine. With a relative cost of around 5.5 coins, it's in direct comparison to gold. This means you need around 20 cards and no drawing power. With no plus buy, you need around 10 turns to achieve this. This is often way too late. This card gets better and better the longer the game lasts, but you want higher value treasures early in the game. The only reason going for it may be in curse heavy games where it's obvious you get big decks. Also, it has this nice synergy with Herbalist and also Storeroom. Rank number 8, Possession. Possession stays also where it was, and although it has still a really high deviation because of 2 big outliers on the first and second rank, its deviation is much lower than last time. Also, it lost a bit of points. Possession seems so powerful, but in reality it isn't. It's just frustrating. Yeah, there's much to say about Possession, but I try to keep it short. First, you have to realize that it's really the most expensive kingdom card in the game, as it costs around 8.5 coins. So if you want it, and it is the only potion cost card on the board, don't open Potion. And the cost also means it's in direct competition with Province. When you've bought a possession, you mostly could have bought a province instead. Its high cost makes it stronger in colony games. When does it shine? Especially in two-player games, when your opponent opens with strong cards like Ambassador or Masquerade, you may look after an opportunity to send good cards, of course especially provinces and colonies, directly back to you. With King's Court, possession is just madness. With Council Room or especially Governor, you can boost the turn you get from your opponent and may even boost your own turn afterwards if he has them too. When your opponent has strong trash for benefit cards like Apprentice, you can even trash provinces or colonies to get the benefit. And if he has cards with choices like Envoy, you either get stronger benefit or can mess his deck up. and if he has duration cards, you can also profit from them. It may seem now that there are many situations where possession is good. That's true, but still often ignorable because of its slowness. Because at the time you play your first possession, your opponent may already have a couple of provinces. Rank number 7, University. Again, it was close between ranks 6 and 7. This time University lost this fight and did fall one rank, although its average is slightly better. It has no votes on last or second last, but still a lot of bad votes to make it a below average card. The effect of University is by far not bad. Unlike Workshop, you don't need to spend an action to gain a card, and you don't get weak 4-cost cards, you get strong 5-cost ones. And you are able to play all of them because of the +2 actions. But it has the same problem as all potion cards have. It's very slow. If you go for a University and you open potion plus X, you lose at least one reshuffle to get the critical 5-cost cards. And you need to get a potion only to get strong non-potion cards. What? Yeah, you have to be sure to have enough time to catch up, and this really depends if the cards on the board are really so strong that you want as many as you can get. So it's very board dependent, and it's really nice with Watchtower Library Engine or Wharfs, Cities, Torturers, Knights, and any money producing cantrip, especially good in colony games where you often have enough time to catch up. It has only few combination potential with other potion cards. University Scrying Pool looks nice but is even slower. Only University Vineyard is really strong. Beware of free piling with University. Rank number 6, Alchemist. After losing 4 ranks last time, it's 1 rank higher this time. It was voted first and last once. Alchemist is strictly superior to Laboratory, and if you have a lot of Alchemists to draw most of your deck, you're almost unstoppable. But how do you get there? First you have to buy Potion, and then you have to spend the next turns to buy Alchemists. That's really slow, and with no source of plus buy you aren't able to build your economy up at the same time. Alchemists are therefore more powerful in colony games, but often weak in province games, unless you have any supporting card. That's the reason Herbalist was added in Alchemy. With Herbalist you're able to put your potion back and get the needed plus buy. Cards that profit from big hand sizes like Bank, if you have the plus buys, are great. Outpost also synergizes perfectly. So it's often a big question if the Unstoppable Alchemist deck can be set up fast enough to be worth it going for it. Also, beware of opponents playing with minions or Masquerade. Rank number 5, Golem. Golem was voted also first once, but has no last rank. Its rating nearly didn't change since the last time, and it's also on the same rank as before. But in the unweighted ranking it would be 1 rank higher. It has the second highest deviation. Like Throne Room, Golem's strength heavily depends from the action cards on the board, what makes it hard to rate. But it hasn't the drawback of Throne Room or King's Court to have at least 1 action card in hand. You can use Golem either in action-heavy decks and may be able to play more of them in your turns, even with curses or victory cards in your deck. It acts also as a pseudo-village. Just beware of Golem plus Trasher, because you have to play the drawn action card and you don't want to risk trashing a province. Or you use it to play your only 1 or 2 action cards in your deck every time you play Golem. Counting House plus X Golems guarantees to draw all coppers in hand. Golem plus Scheme plus Strong Attack is also very nice because you can play your attack every turn. Even with those cards on board, Golem is very expensive with a cost of around 6.5 coins. So don't open Potion with Golem being the only potion card on the board. With Looters from Dark Ages, Golem is much weaker as you will draw ruins into your hand with your Golem, so keep that in mind. Rank number 4, Apothecary. Apothecary has the highest deviation in this list with 5 votes on second and 6 votes on second last. It would be below Golem in the unweighted ranking. Apothecary seems very weak at first glance because of its profit of copper, But unlike many other potion cards, it's very strong at the start at getting very strong cards very early in the game. Buy your early forge, and with the next big hand you can get rid of all your coppers. Or get an early King's Court or Goons. Later in the game it's almost never a bad card because at least it's a cantrip, and if it draws no cards you can set the order of your next cards. Basically a cartographer without the ability to discard. And it combos nice with Wishing Well and Mystic, for example. It's also strong if you build your strategy around copper. Apothecary Coppersmith can easily net you provinces. The problem still is it leaves a chunk on top of your deck. With Native Village you can use this for an advantage. With 8 coppers, a few apothecaries and at least 1 native village you are able to buy a province each turn. With no strong 6 or higher cost card or no synergizing card on the board, Apothecary often is not worth the potion. Rank number 3, Vineyard. We're making a big jump of over 13 percentage points, and there's Vineyard. It has only 7 votes below our average and 2 first ranks. Vineyard is another card that heavily depends from the action cards on the board. You definitely want plus buy or at least gainers to get enough action cards to make it worthwhile. Plus buy is also better in getting vineyards because you don't want to waste 6 in a potion for a vineyard. Besides plus buy and gainers, you definitely need villages or many cantrips to be able to play all of your actions. Cheap cantrips like Hamlet or Pawn are very good. Like all alternative VP strategies, you can totally ignore provinces, what gives you more time getting more action cards. Unlike all other potion cards, you can delay buying the potion until mid-game, when you already have a good running engine, and even buy more potions to buy vineyards. It has nearly no practical limit in the max VP you can get from one vineyard, what can make it really strong, and often a clearly superior strategy over provinces. Also, if your opponent goes for Cultist or Marauder, they only make your vineyards worth 3 victory points more. And you can also use Death card to get a lot of action cards at once, or Rats to get even more action cards really fast. Rank number 2, Scrying Pool. And now an even bigger jump of over 17 percentage points. Scrying Pool stays on the second rank with a higher rating and much higher consensus. It was voted first 9 times and has only 2 votes below average. Attacks that mess up the top of your deck are often weak. Scrying Pool is different because of its drawing power. It may draw your whole deck, but you mustn't have a lot of treasure cards in your deck. Its power is therefore dependent on treasures on the board and action cards that net you money. Secret Chamber or Vault are especially nice. Just discard all action cards and keep 1 Scrying Pool in hand to get a lot of money and draw them again with your Scrying Pool. Attacks that tend to be swingy because of the top card of your opponent's deck, like Jester or Swindler, are gaining value with Scrying Pools because you can choose which card to keep on top. If those cards are not in supply, Scrying Pool is just a spy which draws sometimes an additional card and not worth the potion. Scrying Pool really doesn't mind ruins that much and can use rats to convert non-action cards into action cards really fast. And rank number 1, Familiar. Familiar is still on the first rank where 30 votes ranked it. It has 2 votes below average, one of them a really big outlier on the last rank, not quite understandable, so that the deviation is much higher this time and the rating also quite worse. Cursing attacks are the strongest cards in the game. A cantrip cursor is just ridiculous strong. If you haven't a plan for defense to get no curses at all or easily deal with them, which is very rare, you can't skip over Familiar. What makes Familiar one of the most hated cards is its cost. If one player doesn't get free in a potion while the other hits it in turn 3 or 4, the player who hasn't gained the Familiar is in a clear disadvantage. So thanks again for watching. I will put out one more video where I will show the rank of the prices and some additional information about the ratings. And next time, and then soon, in a few weeks, I will start the 2013 ratings with guilds I know you all look forward to this, and I promise to set up this as fast as I can. So thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.